Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Recon here, and I have some more Girls X Battle 2 content for you guys. We're going to be covering Skye on this video. I know that she's not what everybody hoped she would be, me included, but she may have some uses in the future, so don't get rid of her just yet. And we were going to cover her skills as always, her gears, her limit breaks, and then we'll go into a little bit of fights. Fights not be as much as you think it is, but it's going to show what she can do. Alrighty, now we're going to get into the skills, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to cover this. So, first off, we're going to start with active. Skye deals 200% of attack damage to 3 random enemies and stacks them with 2 Anoxia, dealing an additional 250 plus speed difference between Skye and her target percentage of attack damage, not exceeding 800% of additional attack damage. If the enemy has higher speed, still 150 speed for 3 rounds. So, essentially, she does the difference of the damage for her attack plus the normal 210%. And then we're going to reduce if they have a higher speed by 150%. So, we could do on we see on that it's pretty good stealing, and that would also account for whenever she does her next active, it will do the percentage of difference for speed for the attack damage for the extra part. Each stack of Anoxia reduces the target's enemy speed by 50, can stack maximum 5 times. Higher ranked effect prioritized in case of multiple Skies are on the battlefield, so whichever one's higher priority will get the stacks. Whenever a target with Anoxia is defeated, each stack of Anoxia will restore 8% of maximum HP for the ally with the lowest HP. So 8 times 5 is 40, so that's a 40% HP. That's if that girl dies and then it'll heal. So that's actually great. When we asked for the buff on her, that was one of the things I asked for. They actually did it, so that's great. That's a huge HP increase. The only thing holding this back from actually doing lots of heals is Vivian. We all know Vivian's OP, but not trying to say much about her. But that's the reason why the heals aren't as great on Skye. But if she doesn't exist in the future, this can be huge for heals with Skye, essentially. 40% when a girl dies. Healing 1 up. That's a lot of heals. That's HP, by the way, not by attack. All right, next one is going to be her passive. Basic attack changes to deal 150% of attack damage to the enemy with the highest speed, and it stacks them with 1 Anoxia mark. Not really happy about this not being changed, but maybe in the future we'll get a buff on it. It's kind of a little underwhelming basic attack, but it is nice because it does target the girl with the highest speed, meaning it could target an Apate, and if it does hit, give them an Anoxia mark, they become slower than the other one, but we all know Apate has dodge, so it is what it is. Okay, our next passive. Her attack increases by 30%, HP by 30%, and precision by 30%. Nothing that much great here. Good thing about this, though, is it is increasing it by 30% the HP, which helps her survive, so that's a good part of this. Precision, I don't really know what the precision is for on her. I guess it's just a little thing they wanted to throw in there. Not really useful for her, in my personal opinion. All right. So at the start of the battle, always including her own speed gains increased by 80. This is the key point on her. Increases her speed by her speed and everyone else's speed on 80. This is what the term she's a race car and she's making all your girls race cars going faster. So you're going before anybody else. So it's just becoming more important on the speed aspect. And then when her HP is below 50%, she gains an 80% damage absorption shield for herself. 3 rounds can trigger only once. So once she hits under 50%, she becomes very hard to kill. And if she heals up back to 100%, possibly whenever you're fighting, well, she still has a shield. She's really hard to get rid of, like extremely hard to get rid of. But once the shield goes away, eventually she dies. But when she does die, you'll lose that 80 speed. So the longer you keep her alive to gain that speed advantage, the better off you are, because speed is king, we all know, on that aspect. And then when hit with an active or base attack, her current HP is below 50%. Stack the target with 1 Anoxia. So she's under 50%. She's getting hit by active or basic. She's actually going to give Anoxia marks to them. So there's no way to get around that. That's just automatically like applies to it on that. There's no dodging that like Apate. Each stack of Anoxia reduces the target's enemy speed by 50. Yeah. I don't know why I just started reading that, but it's Anoxia the same thing. It's maximum of 5 times 50, 8% of maximum HP, which is 40% total. There's 5 marks, so that's great as well on her. All right, overall with her abilities, I like the heal buff on her. That's great. Her active still needs some work. Basic attack kind of garbage, honestly, to tell you the truth. The only key point of that is targets the fastest girl, so that's a good thing. Her shield's great to absorb stuff when she's on 50%. It keeps her alive a long time. She just needs a little bit extra damage to be going on. We know the heals would be great if Vivian wasn't around, so it is what it is. All right, now we're going to get into the gears, and then we'll get in limit breaks as well as that, and then after that we'll get into some fights. So let's get into that right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into gears. Gears are pretty straightforward and easy. Crystal, speed and HP. It's the way to go on her. I was trying HP on the other Skye I have. wasn't really much of a fan of it, to be honest. You could probably try it some more, but I'd rather have her go first and be faster to try and target the enemy girl with the highest HP to make her go even slower so that my other girls can go before her. If that makes sense. I'm trying to make everybody go first. So I'd rather just do a straight speed build overall to try and get those Anoxian marks on the girl to slow her down. Of course, we're going to do split gear for more HP, and then we also want the boots on there with the class gear set to give the extra speed. Now, if you're running a pink set on her, you're going to do the first ability on it to reduce his damage reduction. You want her to just essentially stay alive as much as possible. That's the whole point of her, to stay alive and get speed, and maybe get some heals out of her. Her damage is garbage right now, so you're not worried about damage, just trying to keep her alive, essentially. And, of course, the antique, I go with the speed antique on her. Power of Wind, Deception. Echoes isn't great as much because it's not HP. If you have Echoes and Power of Wind, you're better off using Power of Wind because you get the HP as well. Echoes is just, I mean, if you really want the speed to go faster like that, that's fine, but you're just going to lose out on HP, and she's not going to survive as long. So you want HP and speed mostly on her. But the best one's going to be Deception for her, but she also gets each round trigger of 20% additional extra damage reduction for one round, so that's great. All right, limit break wise, pretty simple. 3-1-3-3-2. We want to reduce her. We want to make her faster, reduce her quit, give her baptism to remove debuffs on her. Also boost her speed, and then of course LB5 shields. So you have to have the LB5 shields for PvP. That's just the important takeaway on this. So do that. That's the key way on that. Now, if you want to do an HP build and try and test that out, you could do 1-1, 3-1-2. You could try that. I didn't really like it as much, but if it works better for you, you can try that as well. My advice is just do speed with her. It seems to be the better option. Probably in the future, if she gets some uses, most likely, depending on once Vivian falls out, she's going to be a lot better. Let's just put it like that. She's kind of going to be like Psychic in a sense that Psychic hasn't gone away because she's been very utilizable with her abilities over time. Skye may be the same way. It just depends on what girls are in the meta at the time, essentially, if that makes sense. All right, now we're going to showcase some of her fights and show her what she can do. So stay tuned for that. It's not going to be over exciting as you might think, but it's to show you what she can do overall, kind of. I just kind of can't really explain it. She's just not all there sometimes. She's just there, but she's not there, if that makes sense, ladies and gentlemen. You know? All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to get into some fights with her. So we're going to do one team where it's a mirror match with Skye on both teams, and then we're going to do one that's not no Skye on the other team so we can show how the speed advantage works. So, of course, we're going to fight Justin right here. That's his account. And then we're going to fight XY Gamer right here. That's his account. This account will have no Skye, and then Justin will have a Skye on his team. So we're going to do Skye first and then no Skye. So we'll see the difference on that. Mostly it's just a speed difference. If we're lucky, we might see some damage out of Skye, and then we might see some heals as well. Just all depends on RNG, essentially. All right, so we'll do Justin first. Remember, essentially, this is just like swinging contest between the two. It's just to see who can go faster. So the point here is hoping that yours can go faster. I know Skull Scourgeon's in the game now, so if whoever's is faster in that, it's going to go faster with their girls. So that's applied to it. We're going to watch a 2-time speed. I know this is a little slow, but we want to see the actions. If RNG is on our side, you see what happens. But so, our Apate dodge, that's why there's no Noxian mark on our Apate. That means that we don't get applied, so that's it's good on us, bad for them. And we're just got to wait to see who our Skye hits. So, that should go first, and then we hit this. Nothing got applied. That means that a Vivian's active went off, and it just got removed instantly, which kind of sucks, which is another reason why she's not all that great. So the key point there is, if Vivian wasn't here, we'd already have Noxian marks on girls, and we would be set, and it also might help out a lot more with Skye's damage. So Vivian's really holding her back, essentially. Vivian's holding a lot of people back, to tell you the truth. See if we can get. So we have one Anoxian mark on the Neff, one on the Skye down there. snakes. They're all... Okay, so that died. So we got maybe 1 heal out of that. That Neff dies. It still stays on there. We can get 1 heal out of that. So they didn't dodge. We made her slower by 50, which is great. Oh, we got 3 on her. That's went away. Got debuffed by baptism. That's no fun. Okay, we got 1 more on her. It's only 8%. Imagine if the debuffs weren't getting removed as often, and you have a bunch of Noxian marks everywhere. You'd have potential heals a lot and potentially higher damage. That's why I say keep her around. She might be good in the future. We got 2 Noxian marks there on her. She dies, and let's look at what we got here. Of course, I'm all do damage. See, 2 million. That's a little bit better. Like, when she used to do her damage, she was getting around like 1 million. So I could see the big issue here is that she doesn't have many Anoxia marks to help out with the damage. So heals is still low. We all know why the heals were low, because the Anoxia guards were getting removed. So that's why that is. All right. We saw that. Now we're going to do this. Now, this team has a lot of Neffs. So she might not live long, but there's going to be a lot of heal debuffs on my team, so our HP is going to be low, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember that. Neff is still hard to do when there's multiple against them. It's not like just because I got 3 Vivians, it's an easy win. This is still really hard. It was nice that it hit the Neff right there. Remember, there's no Skye here, so we're going to go first before most of the girls. Oh, man, that Vivian stripped the arm or the energy off of our Skye. The one target we didn't want to see it happen. That just shows you how painful that is. Oh, come on, Skye. Let's go. Get some Anoxia marks. This would be some nice heals. Vivian shouldn't have an active because... Oh, there's 2 Vivians. Keep them off actives. Oh, we did. We should have got some decent heals from these Anoxia marks. That one dies. Should have got some heals. Oh, I got debuff removed. Oh, that sucks. Of course, this is gonna take a minute. There's still Neffs. Still very tanky and hard to kill. I don't know if those Anoxia marks are still there. 300k damage is not bad for her against a damage reduction girl. I mean, I'll take it for Skye's purposes. She's not that great, so it's better than what it used to be. It used to be like no damage. That was, of course, active we just saw. We have 4 Anoxia marks on there. That would be 32% healed on one girl with the lowest HP, which would target our Pate right now. So when we watch, you just saw at the end, if you paid really close attention to it, Pate healed up. Not much damage. A little bit extra heals. We saw some more Anoxia marks being applied there. So you can see how the more Anoxia marks we get on the girls that are going to die, the more potential HP she has. So we could probably see, I saw her at one point. It was out of the blue. It was just godly RNG. Nothing got removed. She had around 11 million heals. So in the future, if we're not getting those removed and she keeps attacking, she's applying a lot, we can potentially see a lot of heals on her. Kind of like Psychic's heals. She needed help with keeping the heals up, keeping her alive, and Vivian was a key component of that when Vivian first came out with Psychic. And Psychic started seeing more heals, 8 to 10 million. So same thing with Anoxia, with Skye. Vivian falls out of the format, the meta, we're going to see more Skye heals, and she's going to become more useful. That's why I'm saying don't get rid of her. Plus, having an Anoxia mark is going to create more damage difference, so we might see more damage out of her. And also, let's say Neft is not in the format later on in the meta. You know, she's going to maybe doing more damage because they don't have much damage reduction. It also all depends. But overall, right now, Skye's just a niche girl that you use against certain teams, essentially, right now. But in the future, she could be more useful. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for this video for you today. My advice to you is don't get rid of Skye. Utilize her correctly. Importantly, she's going to obviously need lots of support, so she can't just be thrown into any team. But she does provide a lot for the team in a sense of speed differences and make it to where if you want to go first before certain girls, it helps out a lot. If you have any further questions on her, I would ask in the Discords about her. But overall, you don't need to make her right now. You just hold on to her copies. Just keep them. Don't get rid of them. Don't fodder them away. Just hold on to them. Lock them down and don't get rid of them. That's my best advice for you. I'm just saying. All right. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it's a crazy world out there. Be safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Peace out.